Hey everyone, it's Michael Phair from BIT here. I'm here doing a Lowdown Lockdown with Simon Nicholls. How you getting on, Simon? You well?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Very good. How are you?
Good, awesome, yeah. Well, thanks very much for joining me today. I think I'm in my fifth or sixth coffee, so yeah, quite excitable at the moment, which is good. Do you want to kick off then, and maybe tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah. So I've been working in change and projects for 25 years, which is a really long time. Um,
Mhm.
so I've done various roles, sort of systems analyst, business analyst, program manager, portfolio manager. But my last permanent role was
Mm.
head of business process and analysis at what became Aberdeen Standard Investments. So the merger of Standard Life Investments and Aberdeen.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's really
yeah,
that took me up to May last year.
a very interesting one, a big role that as well. And now you've entered the world of contracting. How have you found it?
Timing has been awful.
It's
um,
there's three things there. I think you could rhyme off the top of your head. What's been the impact I suppose you found as coming into contract at this time?
yeah, so I mean, I was lucky that I had a short contract last year, which was
Yeah.
great in a completely different industry,
Mhm.
and that was really refreshing. And
Yeah.
then looking for a new contract this year, the timing just couldn't have been worse. With
Mhm.
IR35 changes coming in, Brexit looming, and
Yeah.
then this little thing that seems to have impacted us all called COVID-19.
I know.
So the
Yeah.
market's really dried up, but
Yeah.
it is what it is at the end of
I
the day.
know. Yeah. I mean, it has been one of those times of things happening. Hopefully, we're getting on that kind of road to recovery soon. And things start moving again. Um, how have you found and you can be very unbiased. How have you found agencies
Um,
for roles?
well, a lot of them, like you guys, have kind of um, put some people on furlough, and the activities really dropped off. I think most people are trying to be quite positive
Yeah.
about the market. Timelines differ between agencies. Some say it's going to pick up,
Mhm.
sort of July-ish time. Some people are a bit more reluctant in terms of timelines,
Mm.
or suggesting it might be the end of the year.
Really?
So
Right.
yeah, but yeah, pretty much everybody's trying to be, I think, been honest with where things are at. I think as and when things come in, or opportunities come in, I'm finding agents to be quite um, selective in who they recruit, or
Mhm.
who they contact, because I think there's a lot of people on the market at the minute as a result
Yeah.
of IR35 and Brexit changes. So there's definitely a lot of people available.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yes, it's quite difficult getting out there and getting your name out to agencies.
There's definitely a lot out there. I suppose it's keeping your network going. Using LinkedIn, speaking to all the agencies and stuff. And I think you might even phone the same company and get varying views on when the market might return to normality. And I suppose it depends on the person. How optimistic they're being, realist. My view does change. I mean, it does change sometimes because I think it's just so difficult to pinpoint when things, I suppose, will turn to normality. But I think the good thing is that we've got the 12 guys obviously in BIT just now that we can still have that holistic view. But it is strange going from 30 plus down to 12. Hopefully we'll get them all back soon.
Yeah.
Um, Putting a plug in here before we get into the kind of nitty gritty then of my real interest in the running and stuff like that. What's the next ideal role for you then? I kind of be plugging then for your next contract. What would be the next ideal thing?
Yeah, so I've spent a lot of time kind of leading big teams,
Hmm.
which has been great and rewarding and challenging at the same time.
Yeah.
I guess where I really want to go in terms of contracting is getting back hands on. So
Hmm.
so doing some sort of either sort of strategic analysis or operating model design, or some change management of some complex problems. That
Hmm.
would be great if I could get involved in something like that, or even a interim head of BA
Hmm.
role, give me opportunity to shape a team, build a team up.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting as well.
There you go. If you're watching there and you've got that type of position in, Simon's your man. We'll tag him in the post when he posts up. Awesome. Um, Now, obviously, Simon, you'll see I like to run. and like to kind of post that I'm running on LinkedIn, let the world know.
Yeah, I like
Um,
that. I like those little videos.
yeah, trying to motivate, I suppose myself, give myself some accountability as well for going out and trying to kind of keep fit and healthy. But I can see obviously you're a very fit guy, you know. What's your kind of, I suppose, background then in terms of what you've been doing? I know you've obviously done triathlons. How long's that been going on for?
About 10 years, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's amazing.
so yeah, so I surf as well,
Right.
and the reason why I got into triathlon was I started doing some
Hmm.
swim training because I was a
Yeah.
terrible swimmer. How can you be a
Yeah.
bad swimmer
Uh-huh.
and a surfer? I don't know, but
Yeah.
I did some swim training, and that was a bit boring just swimming up and down the pool. So
Hmm.
that kind of led to the triathlon thing, and
Yeah.
been hooked ever since, really.
And do you find that when you're out doing the triathlons, um, it's always funny to think. So you said to this earlier. So the triathlons, obviously, a swim for people that don't know. What's the distances for a triathlon? I know they vary, but what's the average for people that are listening? Then what's the average in the swim and stuff like that?
So the triathlon that a lot of people will be familiar with is called Olympic distance or standard distance
Mhm.
triathlon. So that's what they do in the Olympics, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's a 1.6K swim, a 40K bike, and a 10K run.
Hmm.
And when you see people like the Brownlees doing the 10K run at the end, I mean, they're flying. They're running 29 minutes for the 10K, which is, unbelievably fast.
That's really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But,
it's after all that
but
as well.
yeah, but what I find with me, I don't know if it's
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because as you get older, you get more suited to the endurance stuff. But I like doing the longer
Mhm.
distance stuff.
Yeah.
So I tend to do half Ironman or Ironman events.
Yeah.
So an Ironman distance is 3.8K swim,
Mm.
180K bike, and then a marathon 42K run at the end, which is just slow and steady.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, there's so much to unpack there. Like, I'm training for a marathon, the Edinburgh one, and that just got moved to I think the 6th of September, from like May. And there's so much involved in training for the marathon. Like I've done halves and stuff like that. But you're doing the swim, 180-kilometer bike ride,
Yeah.
and then just to top it off, at the end, you're doing what I would be training months for, is the marathon
Yeah.
at the end.
But
Um,
you know the bizarre thing when you
uh,
run an Ironman marathon, you don't actually do that much run training because the focus is actually getting bike fit.
uh-huh.
So when you get off the bike for the best part of 5.5 hours, 6 hours, or whatever, you're not absolutely knackered that you can't then run. So you do a lot of bike training. I mean, obviously you do run training as well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but my run training would be very different to your run training, for example, both in terms of distance and
Uh-huh.
intensity.
Yeah. What I mean, it just must. What does it feel like when you come off a 180-kilometer cycle and then start using your legs to run? Your body must
Uh,
just like, what is going on here? No.
it actually feels like relief. And
Relief mentally. A relief. Oh, here's a marathon coming up. You know.
well, relief that's
Yeah.
like it's the last of three things I've got to do,
Hmm.
but also it's like relief you're getting off the bike, and it's like you haven't had a puncture or you haven't had a mechanical on the bike, so you're going into the marathon, and it then becomes right. I can do this because it's just me and my head and my feet. So that's the only thing that's stopping me finish now.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got 42K to run, and that's not a breeze in the park. But
Yeah.
but I'm in a mentality where it's the finishing straight. The start of the marathon is the finishing straight for me.
And that's like me. What do you say? Like, so I think I talk about obviously a lot in my videos about just getting your trainers on and going out and you'll enjoy it and you don't regret a run and stuff like that. What's going through your head during, like, even during this, like during an Ironman? So how long is the full event, like in total from start to finish? Like, what are you finishing the whole kind of whack in?
So time,
Yeah.
11:16 was my last one. 11 hours 16,
That,
which
that's
is
so
pretty average.
that's amazing that you're running your body, you're running for for that amount of time in terms of like keeping your body moving.
Yeah.
Um, like that's amazing. See, me, the negative mindset sometimes would kick in and be like 10 hours to go, 9 hours to go, 8 hours. Do you know what I mean?
No, no,
What do
no.
you do? What do you do in your head? Like, what do you tell yourself? Surely you must lie to yourself at some point. But what do you say during the
You, you,
during the
you,
event?
you definitely chunk it up.
Yeah.
So the swim, it's usually loops. for the swim could be 2 loops. So it's like, right,
Yeah.
we'll just do the first loop and then just do the second loop.
Yeah.
The bike's a little bit more demoralizing because it tends to be, it's either a big circuit of 180k, or the last one I did in Amsterdam was 2 loops. So you do 1 loop and that's 90k, and that's a big bike ride in itself, right? And then you've got the same loop to do again. So it's just kind of head down and chunk it up and go, right, do another 20k, do another 20k. And then when it comes to the run, it's definitely that. It's break it down, right? So you never go into it. I never go into it thinking this is a 42k run. It's like, right, this is 4 10ks. Or the last one I did was it was a 7k loop. So it's like however many that is, 6 loops or whatever. It's like, right, this is 6 loops. Just count them off. It's little more than a park run. I've got 6 park runs to do, so let's just count them off one at a time. And just break it down like that.
Yeah, you're taking them out and breaking it into like manageable chunks.
Absolutely.
I think that's really good as well. Like we seen that. As I say, went out a run with the missus yesterday. It was a wee run, but I think we got to a hill and she was like, I can't run up that, and I was like, oh no, don't let's not sprint up it. Let's just slow right down, but not stop. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's like sometimes it's managing it in your head, because you could just go, but you're just keeping things moving, breaking it down to manageable steps to keep it going and stuff. But that's awesome. That's some achievement. How many calories do you burn, and what's your like intake of food and stuff like that during the time? Like,
calories, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I've probably got it somewhere on my Garmin data, but
I think a half marathon's what, 2,000 calories. So if you're doing a marathon, you're like 4 and a bit. Must be 4,000 calories.
Oh, I would have thought so. I don't know.
What are you eating?
Lots of gels and energy bars, bananas on the bike course and things like that. So you pick up stuff from aid stations, fuel stations.
Yeah.
And then on the run, it's just a question of anything and everything, because it's just your body starts craving stuff. Yeah. I remember the first one I did. Somebody said, right, you'll get to the first fuel station on the Ironman marathon, and your body will be craving salty crisps. And I was like, no, I don't really eat crisps. It won't be right. And the first fuel station was 3 kilometers down the road, and they had salty crisps, and I was just like, give me all of this, because your body is just like, I want the salt. I want the salt.
But that's so in tune that your body's actually saying like, right, we're getting to, like, we want this, we want salt. We need water, and it's actually telling you like, we need these things now. You've trained me.
Yeah. But nutrition is a really key part of, if you're going for 11 hours, nutrition is a real key part. And I focused on that a lot last year, actually, working with somebody just on that nutrition to make sure that you are fueled all the way through, and it did make a big difference. Making sure that you're eating every half an hour, eating something, and it's got the right blend of carbohydrate and protein in it, and obviously keep hydrated all the time.
What's it like in terms of the? I mentioned to you obviously on the call before we started recording about my fear of open water. So I've got friends that have done triathlons, not the Ironmans. That's like next level stuff. That's mental. Like, well done to you. But what's it like? So if I go to open water, my brain instantly says, danger, Will Robinson. It's just that fear kicks in, that something could grab me. Like, do you have that? Obviously why they put the swim at the start as well. Nobody would finish the race. But yeah, what goes through your head during the swim? Do you ever get any of that, or just like focus on what you're doing?
Yeah, these days it's okay. Like if it's years gone by, if it was deep water and you're swimming and your head's down and you can't see the bottom, it's obviously a very different experience than being in a pool where you're following a black line on the bottom of the pool all the time. And that did used to freak me out. But it just experience and getting used to that environment, and it's okay now. I'm still not super comfortable being miles and miles offshore like you see some of these open water swimmers. I definitely wouldn't do that on my own. No. But it's just you just get used to the environment and just build it up a little bit every time. So it's not too bad. But I don't like if you come across jellyfish, I don't like that.
Yeah. I think it was from when I was on holiday once, and I went on one of those pirate excursions on a boat. I think we all jumped off the boat, like, no fear at 14, jumped off a boat. And I just remember my dad saying, don't look at the water. And I was like, why? And I think it was like jellyfish and fish and stuff like that. I think something touched my foot. And I think it's just hardwired my brain to absolute fear, you know what I mean, being in open water. But no, that's awesome. And you mentioned like the nutrition stuff's like so key. How do you feel the next day? So obviously, what's the buzz like when you finish it? Is it a feeling like no other? Is it just like,
It's a fantastic sense of achievement,
yeah,
because you've usually put in. I mean, you'll know from marathon training, what have you, but you've put in months and months and months of training
yeah,
and sacrifices, and family of sacrifice stuff as well. So actually, to get to that finish line, and if you put in a good performance because you train consistently, the sense of achievement is brilliant. You're knackered,
yeah, yeah,
and you're hungry, but
mhm,
you cross the line going, yes, I've 8 months of solid training of
it's amazing.
10, 15 hours a week has paid off. So that's it all comes to a pinnacle, really.
Yeah, so a good feeling, a good buzz. And what's the body like the day after, and then what are the DOMs 2 days after?
So the first Ironman I did, my body was pretty wrecked afterwards, and I could hardly walk the day
Yeah,
after. And then, but the Ironman I did last year was all right, actually. I was okay the next day. I was able. It was in Amsterdam, so took myself off and went around some nice coffee shops in Amsterdam, not the dodgy ones, but the ones where
drop
you can
that in
drink
there straight
coffee.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Um,
yeah,
and it was okay. It was good just to kind of move things about. I think I'd have been worse if I'd have been sitting on a chair all day and allowed things to seize up.
mhm, yeah,
So yeah, the body wasn't too bad, but you take it easy for a good couple of weeks after that.
yeah,
Do some activity hours from recovery rides, active
yeah,
recovery rides, and active recovery runs, but nothing more than that,
yeah. And I've
because it
always,
does take time to recover.
I can imagine. And I've always said as well, I think you were shocked, being terrible at stretching. The foam roller and my shins are not friends. Uh, is it really like so crucial to like be stretching lots?
Yeah, I mean that's been sorry, that's been drilled into me right from
Yeah.
an early start by
Uh-huh.
the triathlon club I'm in,
Yeah.
and I've found, especially as I get older, stretching becomes more and more important.
Hmm.
So I do some dynamic stretching 5 minutes into a run. So after 5 minutes, stop for a good 2, 3, 4 minutes, do some dynamic stretching, and then start the run properly.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I'll do some static stretching for a good 5 or 10 minutes,
Yeah.
especially around my calves and my hips
Hmm.
and my hamstrings, especially because I'm a cyclist as well, so they get really tight. So that helps. I mean, I'm still not very flexible. If I go to a yoga class, for example, everybody else is super flexible, and there's me creaking and what have you.
Yeah.
But I think the stretching definitely helps.
Yeah. But you're using those muscles so much, and to kind of break down. So I take it dynamic stretching. Is that when you're actually still running, you're moving, you're trying to like kind of do high knees and stuff like that, or what's that?
Yeah, so well, not so much high knees, but like leg swings,
Uh-huh.
or rotation around your hips and
Right.
stuff like that, or
Yeah.
hip openers and things. So
Uh-huh.
don't. I mean, what was told to me that sticks is don't hold the stretch when you're still warming up, because it's like a piece of blue tack. If you've got a piece of blue tack and you
Hmm.
try and stretch it and it's not warmed up, it snaps.
Yeah.
That's what your muscles are like.
Right.
So you gotta get there. So to start with, do some very gentle dynamic
Yeah.
stretching, and then
Yeah.
at the end of your at the end of your run, when your muscles are nice and warm, that's when you can really stretch them out with some static stretching.
All right. So me not.
Stretch those hamstrings, Michael.
Yeah. So me going straight into these runs and just doing a half marathon, not stretching after it and stuff like that. Terrible, is it? That's why my
Yeah,
shins are sore now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll
I'll
feel the
pay.
benefit if you do it consistently. I promise you'll feel
I'll
the
pay.
benefit.
I'll pay for that in the long term. Moving on to then, I suppose like, during this kind of pandemic, people move to remote working, work from home and stuff like that. Like, is that like I've found in terms of like your mental health and mental well-being and just a general feeling um, of being better once you go a run and get out there? Like, has that changed your mindset from like doing the triathlons for 10 years and the Ironmans and stuff? Do you think your mental mindset's changed quite a lot from when you didn't do so much to what you've been doing now?
Yeah, I think staying active definitely helps. Getting outdoors definitely helps. Especially the weather we've been having the last few weeks. It's nothing better to get out for a run on a nice sunny day, right?
I know. I've not been that guy, don't worry. But no, I hear you.
Yeah, so that helps, but staying mentally positive definitely helps as well. And there's definitely ways of doing that, whether that's through some meditation or whatever, or just some mindfulness. And I think that is important. Probably give that more attention these days than I did 10, 15 years ago. So I think it is really powerful. What people are doing in this whole mental awareness week and what have you, and the stuff that Prince William's doing, I think is really positive, especially for us blokes that kind of try and push it away.
Oh, totally, yeah. How are you? Fine. Ask twice. That kind of chat, it's and would you back up that you never regret a run chat? Never get home and go, I hated that run. You always feel better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to build up the motivation to get out for a run today. And I'm going to go shortly after this, and I know I'll get back. I'll feel better.
You never do. I know. Yeah. I mean, there's sometimes I'm like, oh, I really don't want to. I just trick myself. We're not going. Don't worry. We're not going. It's about mentally say that to yourself. Don't worry. We're not going. You lied. No, that's amazing. Is there any final thoughts then in terms of any new runners out there or people wanting to get into it? Any final thoughts or advice you'd like to pass on?
Don't go in it all guns blazing. Start steady and build up the volume gradually. I can't remember. There's some stats as to how much volume you should build in every week. I can't remember what it is, but it's like 10 or 20%. So never go more than 20% next week than you did this week, for example. So you got to increase steadily. Same with intensity. But also don't, I would say to people, don't just go out and plod around for a run thinking you're doing good. Build some interval sessions in there as well. So I don't know if you do that, but intervals become really important in terms of increasing your fitness and your overall speed. So quite often a lot of my sessions are interval sessions, which are hard work and can be painful. But they do, again, they pay dividends, right? And it's a lot more beneficial than going out and running 10K and plodding the 10K. So build some variety into the sessions is what I'm saying.
Break up my splits and run some faster than others. Don't just run at the same pace the whole way, Michael, and be lazy. I come back, you're not even sweating after that 10K. I was fine. My heart rate's not even over 140. No, that's it. That's fantastic, Simon. Yeah, no, totally. No, awesome. Well, thanks very much, Simon. And as always, looking for anyone, look at business analysis, contract-wise, Simon's your man. And thanks very much for taking the time to do this, Simon. That's been awesome. All right.
Thanks, Michael.